Mankato Public Safety is responding to online speculation that their officers are working with ICE agents. Police in a social post say that they responded to a 911 call from a person just before they were taken into custody by federal officers. Photos of that arrest were posted on the Greater Mankato ICE Watch Facebook page. Some responses in the comments wondered if Mankato police were working alongside the agents. The group admin did not make that claim. They also objected to police using the photos without permission. Well, police say that the claim wasn't true. That is against their policy. They say 2 people were arrested by federal agents on charges of obstructing and/or interfering with a federal law enforcement operation. Mankato says officers made sure that the 2 were safe and unharmed and moved their car so that it wouldn't be towed. The department reiterated its longstanding policy to not assist in those actions, but says officers will respond to related situations like maintaining order, addressing traffic or crowd concerns, and supporting peaceful assembly.